Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So this is the two-stage water filter. If you watch the other videos when we've been dealing with the hot water heater, there's been 3 of them where the hot water heater was tore apart. We found some sediment in there, so we're putting in a electronic descaler, but that's not this. This is the two-stage filtration system, and you see here everything is set up, it's all dried in. Let me show you. It just mounts right on the top over here. I put a second set screw over there, but I haven't tightened anything yet here. I tightened the first one so it holds in place, and then when I'm all done I'll tighten those last 2. And then you see here, this is all just, it's not tight yet. Everything's dry fitted in here. We have a trench that we've dug all along over there. Let's go look at the trench. You see the pile of dirt we got going here. I got going. My wife did come out and help me dig this a little bit. Right now she's off in the garden. You see she's got a strawberry box here. She's planting strawberries off in her garden somewhere. But this is all you see down here. We exposed the main water line. Right next to it, that's electric conduit, but that is not electric. That's for my security cameras, and so is this one here. This one here. The longer cameras away, there's a few of them that are probably close to 300 feet away, 250 in that area. Those are all piped. The ones that are close, like probably about maybe 20 feet in front of me, there's a 12-foot pole with 2 security cameras on it. That's probably, I don't even remember, probably what these wires go to right here. I don't know. But anyways, like I said, that's our water line right down there. And this is all dry fitted in, so I'm just going to let this, I'm going to soak this with bleach. This pipe, you can see, I've had this pipe for a while. It's been sitting outside, and this is my potable water going into my house here. So I'm going to soak these pipes in bleach. Same thing with all the fittings that you see. This is only dry fitted, so now I'll take this all back apart. But these fittings here, all of this here, I got a bucket with bleach in it already. And I'll soak all these and clean all this in bleach here, because like I said, this has been sitting around. I've had all the stuff probably sitting in my drawers, the 90s and all that for years. You guys see also, too, what I did here. The inlet pipe here is lower than the outlet pipe, okay, and the reason I did that is so the 2 can stay on top of each other, and this is just holding it in place right here. So that one I'll keep. This one is a piece I had left over. It's too long. I got shorter pieces. So like I said, that'll hold it in place, and then that way when I backfill this, these stay nice and straight together. Otherwise, they would separate. One would come out farther than the other, and these wouldn't be evenly straight over here. Once I get past this point, you can see they separate like that, but at this point right here, I want one on top of the other, so they stay nice and square with each other here. So we're going to, like I said, I'm going to soak all this. This one over here, if you guys watch the other video, I said I had to move this one here, and I did. They originally came up the side over here in front, but that got in the way, so I cut it over here, added all this on over here, and I moved it to back over there. And what this is the water line for the shed. There's a sink in here. We have a couple spigots for the outside. We have our washer in here and our dryer in here and all that. So that's the water line for this right over here. And yeah, so like I said, guys, I'm going to let this stuff soak here, and then I'll come back and we'll take another look at this. Alright, so I took all the pipes back apart. Now you can see there's water on the end here. What I did was I just put, let's see here, caps on the end of all these, and I poured some bleach in each one, and I filled it up with water. This is brand new pipe. It's never been used, but you see here the date on it. I don't know if you can see that. 17 June 2018, I think it is. Yeah, June 2018. So I've had this pipe for a long time. I'm always prepped on all kinds of stuff. I have hundreds of elbows and fittings and pipes, and you know, for this whole project I didn't need to go out and buy anything. So, but this has been sitting around for a while, so I don't want to put stuff that's been sitting around for a while, especially the pipes been sitting outside. So I'll clean this all good. And in the meantime, while that is doing, see a little trench going on here. I have this apart, so these I'm going to put Teflon tape in. I won't glue these because if I glue them, they're in there forever. If something ever goes wrong, something bangs this, cracks this, it'll never come out of here. So I'm going to put Teflon tape in. You can probably use pipe dope would work as well, pipe sealer, but I like Teflon tape. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on this here while that soaks, and then we'll clean that out, and I'm going to finish putting all this back together here. Alright, so the lines are all bleached, and I went ahead and I made these connections, but let me just stop here real quick so I can give you guys a few tips on what I did here. This over here is called an MA, and I think actually I have an old one sitting here from a different project I cut out and keep stuff like this. But anyways, this screws in. Alright, so that's what I did. This is this piece right here, and I put Teflon tape around this, okay, and this is Teflon tape over here. It seals it, and it's very important that you put this on pretty heavily, okay. On the threads, you just wrap the threads with it. And you want to also go in the direction, just like if you do a electric outlet, when you put your hook on the outlet, you want to go in the direction that the screw is going so it pulls it tight. Same thing with the Teflon tape. You want to put it in a direction that when you're screwing this in, it's pulling it tight, not trying to go the opposite way. So then what I did was I screwed these in here. Now these are very, very important here, guys, because this is all solid. This is all sealed. This is all glued. If you turn this thing on at this point and this is leaking, you got a heck of a problem here, because you got no choice but to cut this line open. You see how nice and neat I made this here? I bleached these inside. I got them all nice and clean here. They won't stay looking like this though, because right now I'm trying to get my water heater going. I'm trying to get all this put in, but this is not the way this is going to stay. There's going to be shut-off valves up here and here, so I can actually shut the incoming water here, shut the outgoing water here, and then there's going to be a bypass over here, so I can basically loop around and bypass this whole thing. And also this stuff here, the wrap, goes over the pipe like this over here. And I'm not using this piece. This is an older piece that I have, like this here, and you can see it's a little marred up. That stuff like that will bother me. I want brand new pieces here. This is my brand new system here. But ultimately, like I said, there'll be shut-off valves in here, and then a bypass over here. But right now, I'm trying to get water going. So anyways, like I said, guys, you want to make sure this doesn't leak, because it's going to be bad. So what I did was I put Teflon tape on it, and then I used a pipe wrench. And this is old. This is my grandfather. I'm old, okay? This is my grandfather's pipe wrench. I can't tell you how far back this goes. It could be the 30s. It could be who knows, but I love this thing. I've had it for years. When my grandfather passed, they gave me a bunch of his tools, and this was one of them. So anyways, what I did was, you see how this is all nice and neat, it's not all scratched up? I used the pipe wrench to tighten it, but I put a rag over it, okay, and then put the pipe wrench over the rag to tighten it, okay, so that way when these things jump and whatever, it won't scratch us up there. And then what you want to do, this is all plastic, so make sure you don't over tighten this. I ran this in, and it goes in quite a bit deep. You can see how long the threads are over here on this thing, and you can see this is pretty well flush right here. So it goes in deep. With the Teflon tape, it's going to be snug, not hard. So you run it in until you feel it tighten, okay? And once you feel it tighten, you just go a little tiny bit more snug, because if you over tighten this, you're going to crack all this, all right? So you just go down until you feel it tighten, and then just a little bit more of a snug, because like I said, very important that these things don't leak, because otherwise you got a big problem. So these are all ready to go. Now, if you notice here, the inlet, the water coming in, I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, is about 4 inches longer than this here, and I think I explained that earlier. But anyways, at this point, I want my pipes to run underneath each other perfectly, and once they get up here, they can separate. But what happens is, if they were even, okay, now they have to go side by side, one of these pipes will pull out a little bit like that, because they can't go into each other, so you got to pull one to clear it, right? So I made one a little longer than the other, and now what I'm going to do is we're going to connect to the main over here. So I'm going to have to go turn off the water. And you see that white pipe there, that's my water main coming in, okay? So my well is about 180 feet away from the house. It comes up, I want to say, about 140 feet. I have 1.5 inch pipe. I did all that myself. It's buried about 30 inches deep for about 140 feet. It actually goes through the woods. I have a trail that goes through, and then I reduce down to 3/4, and it comes up around here and connects into the house right behind me. So tip on this one, guys, okay, is do this end first, all right? Because what's going to happen, you want to try and be very precise. I'm actually going to go ahead and strap my pipe in, because it's going to bother me. If it's at a tiny, tiny angle, it's going to bother me. So I'm going to go ahead and strap it in place, and I'm going to do this end first over here, because like I said, if you do that end first and you come up a little bit short, now you're going to pull your pipe, okay? So what happens now, if I do this end first, I'm going to leave that end longer, so it's going to make it easier for me to trim that pipe more precise, that I'm not, you know, pulling it, because this is solid. You're not going to move over here. You see how that's in the ground? Like I said, that's not going to budge one tiny fraction. So like I said, I'll do this first. I'll leave the pipes longer, and then that will help me more adjust things there. And again, I'm going to strap my pipes in that are coming off of the filter, so that way I can't pull the pipes, because at this point, again, it's going to bother me the way I do stuff if it's the tiniest, and you know, a 1/16 of an inch is going to do that. So I'm going to make these connections, guys, and then we'll be back. We're going to be putting in the water descaler as well, and get my hot water heater back in. So I'm getting close here. So once I get this done, I'll be back. Alright, so this is all in, this is all connected, and you see here, down on the bottom there. Now, little tip here. I bleached my lines, I cleaned out my lines. I didn't want to get sand back in my lines, so when I was down on that end over there and I'm pushing the pipe through this way, I don't want sand going in here, okay? And you can even see the sand that's on the end over here. I taped the end so the sand won't go in here, and these were longer, so then when I cut it, and you see that one there, I used to hold my pipe in place, and then I'll backfill this, the dirt, and it'll all stay nice and straight. And you see here, I was talking about getting my lines nice and straight. That would drive me crazy if my lines weren't perfectly straight here. And then even this way as well. You see here, and going even this way, it's all perfectly straight. So I'm very, very particular about stuff like that. So this came out perfect. And you see on the ends over here, made our connections right down over there. So this is all good to go. I'm going to work on the descaler now and let this dry a little bit before I do anything. But here's our descaler, guys. And this is going to be a different video. If you want to see this, you can like, subscribe, hit the notification buttons, and you'll see this one. But this is an electronic water descaler, and it's very, very simple. You don't have no plumbing, no nothing like that. Okay, it works off a magnetic field, and in the video when I do this, I'll explain it a little bit more. But this just actually a couple different options to put it on. You can zip tie it right to the pipe, which is probably what I'm going to do. I can put any angle here, and then these copper straps over here will wrap around this over here, and like I said, I'll get more into detail how this works. These things do work. But anyways, we're gonna I'll bleep back in once I turn the water back on, fill these things up and all that. So see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so everything is back together here. You see the filter's in. The water, I'm not going to push this button. I don't want to let it. If I push this button, water will come out. But there is water. These did fill up. You see there's no leaks anywhere at my MAs over here. Like I told you guys, it's super, super important. Over here, no leaks as well. The descaler is in. I did put in the descaler over here. There's going to be a different video on that. This is all working great, actually. A few days has gone by. A little bit's gone by from the last frame. So this has been in and running for a little bit here. You can see down on the bottom here, it did take out some. I'm going to open this up and see. A lot of the white, what you see there, is most likely the PVC shavings. My PVC cutter is broken. I had to use a saw. I tried to clean it out the best I could, but you'll never get all of it. And that's what the white is over in there. But everything's back in. Everything's together. You see I haven't got the pine needles back in. We filled up the trench. I have the same way. It's me. I filled up the trench and did all that. But you see here we use pine needles for our walkways over here and all that, because we got plenty of them, plenty of pine trees. But everything's back together here. Everything's back in shape. And yeah, there it is. So it's working really good, like I said. I've had some issues here, so I haven't gotten the video out quick. You see this wire over here. I had some ghost waves in my security cameras. You guys probably know, if you follow the channel, I have a 32 camera system here. 20 are in and working. I just haven't gotten to the other ones. So I had some ghost waves in a few of them, so I don't like that. Things like that bother me. They work perfect. They just had a little tiny waves. So I started diagnosing what the problem is. It happens. Usually it's in the boxes. In this case, it wasn't. I had bad wires. The problem is, I replaced this. This is a brand new wire over here, and it still didn't work. You look at what I had to do here, okay? I took a brand new wire, and I got like 1, 2, 3, I think like 4 of them I had to replace. 2 of them are quite long. They're 300 feet long. And brand new roll, 1,000-foot roll, I kept finding bad wires in here. That's why this one is here. So what I had to do, instead of replacing all that wire, I actually had to find out what was bad. So I had to cut the wires, ohm it out, figure out which piece is bad. But these are direct bury wires. So then I had to solder these connections and use a weather-rated heat shrink so these can be buried again. I'm going to be doing a video on that because I'm not done with that. I still have quite a few splices I have to do this on. So that's what kind of tied me up. But yeah, this thing's in. It's working great, guys. I highly recommend it, especially the descaler. Again, I'm going to make another video on that one here and get into detail about it. But like I said, this has been in actually for probably, I don't know, a couple weeks, whatever. But we've had a chance to run all this here, and it's amazing what it's doing in my house, which I'll get into on the descaler video. So if you guys want to see that, and you haven't already subscribed and hit the notification button, hit that notification button, and you'll know when that video comes out. All right, guys, talk to you on the next one.